reckon I've carved at least a dozen of these. Made my first one for my baby boy. Plus, well, it's gonna be an angel. At least the way I remember it. It was a long time ago. See, my boy, well, before he got born, I really didn't know who he was gonna look like. It worried me. Well, see, his mama, she found out she was pregnant. I didn't want to embarrass her. Baby wasn't mine. I just thought I was going to let it go without making a fuss, you know. But then one night I had this dream, and there was an angel there. And that angel, he told me I shouldn't be scared to marry that woman because it was God's baby that Mary was having. You know, around here we got a custom. When a baby gets born, the daddy, he puts that baby across his knees. And that's his way of telling everybody that that baby is his. Well, it took a while for my heart to kind of get used to the idea that that baby is just on loan to me. He was special. But, well, I made room for him. And when he got born, I did what any daddy would do. I put that boy on my knee. I gave him a name, and I called him mine. But he grew up to a fine boy. Now, all these years later, well, you probably heard about it. He's grown into a fine man. You know, every time I call one of these, I remember what that angel told me. That Mary's boy, my boy, we're supposed to call him God with us. God with us. Yeah. I reckon that's all I've ever really needed to know. So you ask me who my boy looks like, I'll tell you. He looks like God.
All right, hey, over the last few weeks we have been walking through the story, I just want to say this, ladies, you are fantastic. Okay? I thank Valerie and Amanda for all their hard work that they kind of work with you guys. Okay, well, there's this old Christmas carol called What Child Is This? We've been kind of walking through answering that question each week by looking at a character or someone in that song, the Christmas carol, that was written by a gentleman by the name of William Chatterton Dix. The song asks a lot of questions about what child is this that's in that manger? What kind of child is that? Who is it? And so we looked at, the first week we looked at the shepherds and how Jesus had the characteristics of being the shepherd. And then the second week we looked at the Magi, the wise men. And so we looked at the characteristics that, that Jesus brings gifts to us. So he has characteristics of the wise men. And then last week we looked at Mary. And then this week we're going to be looking at Joseph. But as you look at the psalm, next week we'll be playing the psalm all the way through so that you can hear the psalm. It's kind of the answers, and it talks about different characters. Now, in the characters of that psalm, mentioned by name as Mary, then we have Christ the child, and then we have the shepherds, we have the angels, and then also in the psalm it talks about some forms of livestock feeding. And then someone who makes a character appearance by their actions. We know that the Magi I talked about in the psalm, but there's something missing from the psalm that's not mentioned at all in the psalm, and that is Joseph. Joseph's not mentioned in the psalm at all. Well, in fact, if you look at the Gospel of Mark, Mark left him completely out. You know, Joseph gets no fanfare. I can't imagine he probably didn't want any fanfare either. Just kind of one of those guys that's in the background. Doesn't really need anybody patting him on the back. He just was obedient. Obedient to God, doing exactly what he asked him to do. Today we're going to be looking at Joseph and some of the characteristics of Joseph and what he has done for his son Jesus Christ, and how Jesus Christ has those same characteristics for you. So I want to open up in prayer and then we'll jump into God's word. Can we do that? Father God, I come to you right now to thank so much for your word and how it speaks to us. And Father, today, as I know we move in closer to the holiday, the day that we celebrate Christmas, that we celebrate the birth of your Son, Jesus Christ. Father God, you have a plan. You have a plan to save the world. That anyone who calls upon your name, Jesus, anyone asks you to save them, anyone asks you to forgive them of their sins, you do. And you welcome them into the family. Father, speak to us now. Help us to understand this process a little bit better. To know that we have a loving God who loves each one of us. Even when we don't feel loved at times, we can always go back to your Son Jesus and know that he loves us. Father, we thank you so much for loving us. And we ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Hey, like I said, we're going to be looking at Joseph today. Mark doesn't talk about him. Matthew and Luke and John do talk about him in the Gospels. But he doesn't have a speaking part. You know, when I grew up in church, and they had children's plays. By the way, we have a children's play tonight. You got to come back tonight to support our children. It's not going to be a real long play. Trust me, it'll be over probably within 15 minutes. All right. But you know, when you're a parent and you have a child, and whenever I was a kid in the play, you wanted that speaking part. You know, you wanted that speaking part. And so when you would go to play tryouts and stuff like that, they'd give you something to say and how you act it all out. I'm acting, you know, and they'd say, okay, well, you're good, we'll give you a speaking part. And my very first part was a shepherd, and had no lines. And I was a talker, so that was kind of hard, you know, to put me by a manger and just give me one of them sticks, and I was like, who can I hit with this? I'm going to get some attention. I'm going to get, and if you watch on Facebook and see all these different videos of the different church plays and stuff, some kids really kind of steal I saw one this week where one of the ladies, little kids, was kneeling, and she stood up and she took that baby out of the manger, okay? So, you know, sometimes you get speaking parts and sometimes you don't. But do you realize that Joseph has no words at all in the Bible written anyway? He has no speaking part at all. Just his actions of obedience. Just his actions of obedience. I will say, even though he didn't have a speaking part, and he wasn't even mentioned in the book of Mark, he was there before the manger. somewhat supported that Jesus' father, Joseph, died, earthly father, Joseph died somewhere between the age of 12 and his earthly ministry. Somewhere between there. We're not exactly sure. Different historians will say different things. But today I want to look at Luke. Take your Bibles, turn to Luke. Before you start turning pages, let me see them. I want to see them held up high. Have you got your Bible? Okay, great. Great. Cell phones, whatever. Good job. All right. Luke chapter 2. Luke chapter 2. And if I whistle a little bit today, just forget about it. All right. Because I've kind of turned into the gopher from, today we're going to... I had some dental work done, 4.5 hours in the dental chair Friday. Luke chapter 2, verse 41 through 52. If you didn't bring a Bible, don't worry about it. We'll have a scripture on the screen for you to follow along. And today we're going to be flipping back and forth to different places, but I want you to see today as this unfolds what God's Word tells us. Luke chapter 2, verse 41 through 42. Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover. And when he became 12, they went up there according to the custom of the feast. And as they were returning after spending the full number of days, the boy Jesus stayed behind in Jerusalem, but his parents were unaware of it, but supposed him to be in the caravan and went a day's journey, and they began looking for him among their relatives and acquaintances. Now, we'll stop right there at verse 44, and we'll go to 45 here in a second. But going to the feast of the Passover was a big event, okay? It was something big where your whole family would go, and you would go to the temple to make their sacrifices, and it was just a celebration time because God had done some wonderful things there for us, okay? So they're going along, and the whole family's traveling along in a caravan. Now, I don't know about you, but it's easy to kind of forget about your kids. Right? Lily looks at me like, what? You one's going to forgive me? I'm Lily. Okay? And that's true. I don't know how this worked out, but they lost him. I lost Joshua at a ballpark for about 10 minutes, and that was the worst 10 minutes of my life. Okay? We were panicking, and we were in Kingston. It's not at the Kingston ballpark. Not a whole lot of things happen in Kingston, but we kind of frantically were searching around. I can't imagine after several days noticing that your child is not there. Okay, verse 45. When they did not find him, they returned to Jerusalem looking for him. Then after three days, they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the teachers, both listening to them and asking them questions. And all who heard him were amazed at his understanding and his answers. When they saw him, they were astonished. And his mother said to him, this is Jesus getting scolded a little bit, right? Okay. All right. Son, why have you treated us this way? Behold, your father and I have been anxiously looking for you. And he said to them, why is it that you were looking for me? Did you not know that I had to be in my Father's house? But they did not understand the statement which he had made to them. And he went down with them and came to Nazareth and continued in subjection to them. And his mother treasured all these things in her heart. And Jesus kept increasing in wisdom and stature and favor with God and men. So after 3 days, they find Jesus, and Mary talks to him, and they say something to him that is very interesting. They described him, and everybody knows him as the son of Mary, but Mary says that he is the son of Joseph. Look right here in verse, hold on a second. I'm jumping ahead of myself. All right, because I'm excited about this sermon. You got to hear me. You got to hear this stuff. Matthew, go to Matthew chapter 1. Turn over to Matthew chapter 1. Verse 18 through 25. Mary, when she found Jesus in the temple, she said in verse 48 of Luke 2, don't turn back there. She said, you treated us this way. Behold, your father and I have been anxiously looking for you. So Mary says that Joseph is calling him a father. Now, if you go to Matthew chapter 1, verses 18 through 25, look what happens here. Now, the birth of Jesus was as follows. When his mother Mary had been betrothed to Joseph before they came together, she was found to be with child by the Holy Spirit. We looked at that a couple weeks ago. And Joseph, her husband, being a righteous man, not wanting to disgrace her, planned to send her away secretly. But when he had considered this, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream, saying, Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary as your wife, for the child who has been conceived in her is of the Holy Spirit. She will bear a son, and you shall call his name Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins. Now all this took place to fulfill what was spoken, by the Lord through the prophet. Behold, the virgin shall be with child, and she shall bear a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which translated means God with us. And Joseph awoke from his sleep and did as the angel of the Lord commanded him, and took Mary as his wife, but kept her a virgin until she gave birth to a son, and he called his name Jesus. Now, in the video we just got done watching, it alludes to the custom at that time. The custom at that time, if you read throughout when Zacharias was given the name to John the Baptist, that they looked at the father. The father always named the child. Now, today, if you're a smart man, you will talk